Hello, I'm Matt. If you haven't met me before, also known as Matchu. I've been putting the finishing touches on Labyrinth, which is my game that I've been creating. It's an AI storyteller. I'm gonna start it loading up uh, as I talk a little bit about this. Basically, you've seen AI story games before, they're all over the place, but I wanted to make one that felt really effective at its storytelling. Um, so I just went off and started making it, and now a couple months later, I'm just kind of putting the finishing touches on it. Um, it generates stories. It has this interesting like setup that it has, where it has like a separate like secret manager kind of like planner called the director, and then it's got a another bot that just writes the stories, like the actual like prose and everything like that. So it's an interesting thing. It's got an anything button. It'll come up with the way that works actually behind the scenes. It comes up with 20 ideas and then all in a big list. And then it just randomly selects one of the 20 ideas. So yeah, I press the anything button. Usually it comes up with something interesting. Today, I guess we're jumping right into Vorath's Eclipse. In the realm of Etheria, a fantastical world of towering crystal spires, enchanted megacities floating amidst storm-racked skies, and arcane energies pulsing through magitech wonders, an ancient warlock named Vorath awakens after eons of imprisonment. This super super heroic fantasy land teams with caped champions wielding elemental powers, villainous syndicates plotting conquests, and heroes safeguarding the fragile balance between magic and technology. Vorath seeks to reclaim his lost shadow empire, dominating the realms with dark sorcery, while a band of unlikely heroes rises to oppose him. The player embodies Vorath, free to pursue ruthless domination or betray their dark legacy to champion the light. Interesting. So we get to play as the villain here, so that's going to be pretty exciting. I'm very excited. Um, yeah, I really appreciate the. Also, if you want to try this out, you can. You can go to labyrinth.matchu.ca. Give it a shot. Give me your feedback. I really would love to know what you guys think. Yeah, interesting setup here. So I think I am the villain, the ancient warlock. So, and they have this generates as well a bunch of world lore things. So we've got the factions, we've got the historical events. So we've got the hero vanguard, which is the coalition of superheroes. Um, yeah, I'm not going to read all of this out loud. There is a text to speech thing which I really like. Um, I read at like a third grade level probably, so like you guys probably don't want to hear me popcorn reading out loud here. So, but yeah, coalition of superpowered heroes who protect Etheria's cities from threats, using their abilities to maintain order and combat emerging darkness, like me. We've got the Shadow Empire remnants, scattered cultists and dark sorcerers loyal to the ancient warlock, hiding in underworld layers and awaiting his return to rebuild his dominion. That's me. There was the Great Sealing a millennia ago, a legendary alliance of heroes imprisoned Vorath in a crystal void, banishing his empire and suppressing raw magic across Etheria. We've got the Nexus Spire, which is a colossal floating citadel at Etheria's heart, hub of hero activities, arcane academies, and the world's most powerful Leyline Nexus. I'm going to be taking that down for sure. We've got the Arcane Surge Corporation, which is a megacorp pioneering magitech gadgets and power suppressors, supplying heroes while profiting from magical instability. And finally, we have the Storm Rider Guild, which are neutral sky pirates and elemental riders who traverse Etheria's turbulent skies, trading in rare artifacts and smuggling forbidden magics. So, without any further ado, let's jump into this. Oh wow, that's me. This is Vorath. This is our first character. This is me. Uh, Pretty intense looking, I gotta say. Cunning and charismatic, ancient warlock. Yeah, we already knew all this stuff. Okay, perfect. So that's me. All right, let's hear this story.
Voreth's eyes snapped open within the heart of his crystalline tomb, the void vault's jagged facets pulsing with imprisoned starlight. A guttural roar escaped his lips as raw will ignited. Crack! Fissures spiderwebbed across the massive crystal sarcophagus, shattering in a cataclysmic explosion of glittering shards that rained like frozen comets. Dark sorcery erupted from his core, coiling tendrils of shadow, laced with crimson glows, surging through veins, long dormant. Amid the ruins of the vault, twisted magitech husks sparking erratically, toppled crystal spires, humming with residual leyline fury. His tall, silver-haired form rose, arcane tattoos igniting like molten veins on pale, muscled flesh. Piercing red eyes blazed with commanding fury, aura potent yet frayed. Fleeting visions assailed him, empires crumbling under his boot. Then, a hero's hand extended in light. He clenched a fist, shadows thickening, power cresting toward Dominion's hungry abyss.
Okay. I'm also going to give a quick refresh here. I forgot that I had my settings set that it was going to be incredibly like fast. So I'm going to slow it down a little bit, but like I don't want to waste your guys' time. So I'm going to just have it at 1.5x speed. Cool. Wow. All right. Well, I think I have no choice but to embrace the darkness here. That's, I think, the only real option. I just made this this loading screen. So this is a cinematic image that you can see up there. Oh, there I go. And it each turn the director, which is the secret keeper and stuff, they generate like 3 or 4 different fun facts about the world. So the world's lore keeps building upon itself, and these are usually things that, I'll get out of the way here. Ancient warlock bindings like Voras require lunar eclipses to fully weaken. So what ends up happening is you get just more and more facts. Shadows converge. Alrighty. We've got a new character, Lyriel here. Lyriel.
Shadows exploded from Boreth's form like living ink, twisting vaults into a maelstrom of writhing darkness, veined with pulsing crimson glows. Magitech debris rattled as his aura swelled, potent waves cracking crystal spires further, the air thickening with ominous thunder. A rift tore open. Bam! And Lyriel burst through on shadow wings, her raven hair whipping wildly sharp green eyes, ablaze with fanatic fire. Slender and agile, dark veins pulsing beneath fair skin, she dropped to one knee amid the chaos, head bowed in rapture. My Lord Voreth, the God King awakens, she breathed, voice fervent. The hero vanguard rules from Nexus Spire, their shields smothering magic, but remnants stir in hidden lairs. Cults await your call. Seals weaken under lunar strain. Command me, and we reclaim the Empire. Her gaze lifted, shadows coiling eagerly at her feet, hungering for his decree.
Ah, so we have Lyriel now, who is apparently, she is a fanatical devotee of the Shadow Empire, cunning and fiercely loyal, skilled in espionage and minor shadow sorcery. Alrighty. Let's see what we can do. Let's plan some conquest here. Or dismiss her. I feel like if I dismiss her, she's going to get angry and she's going to try and take me down. So, I like this. Demand proof of devotion. We got to make sure she's loyal to the villain cause that we have. Look at this guy. This guy looks just like me. I am as muscular as this guy. It's actually incredible. In real life, by the way. Oh, here, I'll let you read the whatever it's called, the facts. Oath of Eternal Night. Ooh, this looks like a blood oath. Vorath demands proof from Lyriel, testing her fanaticism in the shadows of the vault. Her devotion runs deep. Will you claim her as your first lieutenant?
Voreth's piercing red eyes narrowed upon Lyriel with unyielding scrutiny as shadows coiled thicker around them both in the shattered vault, their crimson glows casting elongated specters across the fractured crystal spires and sparking magitech wreckage. Words are ephemeral, mortal, he intoned, in a voice like grinding thunder, resonant with ancient command. Prove your soul belongs to me, or perish in obscurity. Lyriel rose with ecstatic fervor, her sharp green eyes alight as she drew a ritual dagger arc. Her blood welled forth and ignited instantly into writhing chains of shadow, pulsing with an otherworldly crimson-purple radiance that lashed unerringly toward Voreth, coiling around his form and fusing with his arcane tattoos in a searing surge of binding power. From her cloak she produced a stolen hero vanguard communicator, its radiant shield emblem glowing defiantly, and smashed it against a crystal shard with zealous force. Sparks erupted in brilliant azure bursts, fueling a dark torrent that flooded into Voreth, amplifying his aura to thunderous potency. Prostrate once more, Lyriel trembled in rapture at his feet, her devotion absolute as she awaited his judgment amid the rising tempest of power.
Okay. All right, I get it. You're loyal. The blood chain thing is kind of crazy. But all right, let's. I don't think we need to question her true motives. Um, First of all, why was she carrying a communicator with the hero vanguard? I mean, that seems a little bit suspicious to me. But it's. I'll take it. All right, let's rally some cultists. Actually, I'm gonna send her to scout Nexus Spire. See where that goes. 95% chance of success. I mean, why not? Oh man, I gotta get out of the way here. There I go. How interesting. Well, it sounds like I need to thwart some heroes at the hero vanguard over there. Create permanent shadow scars that glow under stress. Interesting. I love this image. Rah! Rah! I imagine we're getting a bunch of new characters. Usually it takes a little longer to load if you get new characters, because what happens is the character images first have to generate, and then those character images get put into these round images so that you can have like accurate like characters and stuff like that. So like you can tell that this is Vorath and this is Lyriel. Command acknowledge. Lyriel melts into the shadows, dispatched to scout the Nexus Spire with unerring precision. 96. So every time that you make a decision and it has like some percent chance of success, it rolls a dice, and so this was 95%. So it would be successful as long as the roll's over 5. Apparently the roll was 96. It's not technically supposed to tell you the roll, but like it doesn't matter too much. Also, under this is all of the director's notes. So the director's notes, at least as far as the director is concerned, is completely private to it. That's where it makes all of the decisions and stuff. As well, it has this hidden knowledge, which is called secrets. It also has hidden knowledge on all of the different things, like all the factions and locations it made up at the start. That's all also hidden. And you can reveal it if you want, but like I like to have the surprise and the shock and the tension and stuff, So let's see this.
Vorith loomed over the prostrate Lyriel, his silver hair framing a visage of regal menace as shadows surged wildly around them, crimson-purple glows illuminating the vault's fractured spires and debris-strewn floor. Infiltrate Nexus Spire's undercity. Uncover fractures in the hero vanguard's bulwarks and the void prison's anchoring seals. Return with their secrets before the moon wanes. Ryle sprang to her feet, green eyes blazing with unbridled zeal. As you decree, my eternal lord. Victory shadows your path. Her form unraveled in a vortex of swirling purple-crimson wisps, crackling rifts, swallowing her agile silhouette whole as she phased into the ether, bound for the surface realms. Alone amid the humming ruins, Voreth extended tattooed hands toward the vault's pulsing ley lines. Energies coursed into him, arcane markings flaring brilliantly, his powers swelling in anticipatory thunder.
Dope. Also, each turn the director comes up with stuff, but then it can give multiple turns to the writer to write. So obviously here we're just sending off Lyriel, and this one is going to be Lyriel out there taking down some heroes. So 2 stories.
Lyriel emerged from a swirling rift of shadow into the labyrinthine undercity slums beneath Nexus Spire, where neon veins pulsed along grimy alley walls and hovering Magadek drones cast erratic glows over throngs bartering in crystal-lit bazaars shrouded by perpetual twilight haze. Cloaked in a shimmering veil of glowing shadow camouflage that bent light around her slender form, she glided silently past oblivious sky pirate traders and flickering hollow banners proclaiming hero vanguard supremacy. Ahead, Scout Kythorn led a sparse patrol of 3 armored vanguard warriors through the anchor chamber's perimeter, his athletic frame taut with vigilance as short-cropped brown hair caught the anchor seal's ethereal blue radiance, stern blue eyes scanning for anomalies while his tanned hands activated humming anti-shadow wards along the massive glowing crystal pylon that tethered the void prison. Surges again last eclipse. Double the lay routes north. Kai murmured to a squad amid casual chatter on patrol gaps and understaffed shifts, their light defenses patrolling predictable arcs ripe for shadowy exploitation. Heart pounding with triumphant anticipation, Laryl melted back into the encroaching darkness, evading a drone sweep as she phased toward Vorith's vault.
Alrighty. So it sounds like they're doubling the lay routes north. Whatever that means. I'm sure that will come up soon. Should I absorb the ley lines fully? Should I search for hidden artifacts or meditate on soul conflict or extend shadow sense to guide Lyriel? I actually kind of like this one. Let's take some people down, some heroes. Anchor's pulse stronger than solar flares, alerting Vanguard mages. Whispers from the spire.
Vorith stood resolute amid the vault's humming ley lines, his piercing red eyes igniting with otherworldly brilliance as he extended shadow sense through the oath bind, weaving pulsing tendrils of darkness like neural webs that snake from the ruins' upward depths toward Nexus Spire's undercity. Guided flawlessly by his augmented perception, Laryl evaded every drone sweep and patrol footfall, her shadow-cloaked form slipping past Kai Thorne's oblivious wards. She burst from a crackling rift before him, raven hair disheveled yet triumphant, green eyes aglow as shadows clung to her like victorious banners. My lord, the Undercity yields secrets. Kai Thorne's patrols favor south arcs, leaving north blind spots unguarded. The void anchor flickers erratically. Understaff chatter reveals solar flare weaknesses ripe for breach. Vorath absorbed her zealous report, crimson aura flaring as visions of conquest stirred within the encroaching gloom.
Oh boy. Let's suppress the dark urges and scout this personally. Let's get out in the field. Sounds exciting enough to me. It sounds like I was also successful. To taste emotions. What does happiness taste like? Tastes like a Big Mac. Suppressing the dark urges awakens a flicker of the hero's light within. You scout Nexus Spire's Undercity personally, unseen, glimpsing Vanguard secrets without succumbing to shadows. The soul conflict stirs. Lyriel senses a shift. What path calls strongest now?
Forrest staggered amid the vault's crystalline debris as ferocious dark urges boiled within, crimson shadows lashing wildly, from his form only to collide with an unwelcome surge of golden light that pierced his splintered soul, like Elendor's. Faint heroic whisper. He clutched his chest fiercely, arcane tattoos flickering in chaotic dual hues of scarlet fury and radiant amber, the air crackling with their volatile clash while fractured spires trembled. Laryl recoiled slightly, her green eyes narrowing with subtle unease, beneath zealous fervor as she bowed low. I shall guard this sanctum eternally, my lord, she vowed, voice steady yet laced with wary tension. Mastering the turmoil, Vorith wove a balanced shadow veil around himself, a semi-transparent cloak shimmering with interwoven light and dark that rendered him a ghostly specter. With a dynamic surge, he phased through the vault wall, vanishing toward the Undercity's perils in poised anticipation.
How exciting. Kai Thorne Sentinel Prime. Holy, look at this guy. His muscles got muscles. That's actually bonkers. Okay, let's see what happens here.
Vorath drifted through Nexus Spire's Undercity like a specter in his semi-transparent shadow veil, subtle glows of interwoven light and dark blending him seamlessly with neon-lit alleys buzzing with Magitech drones and shadowed bazaar stalls hawking illicit crystal shards. He perched unseen atop a collapsed spire, overlooked near the Void Anchor's chamber, where Sentinel Prime's imposing figure dominated the scene. The tall, muscular leader, with golden blonde hair and piercing blue eyes, projected hollow maps flickering with surge patterns. Before vigilant Kai Thorne, arcane spikes intensify deploy the Eclipse Key asset at North Gaps. Sentinel Prime commanded, his chiseled jaw set as light wards hummed to life, around the pulsing anchor. Kai nodded amid murmurs of patrol shortages and Magitech doubts, blind spots glaring on the display. Vorith absorbed every vulnerability with predatory focus, then withdrew flawlessly into the gloom, his veiled form evading all scrutiny.
Alrighty. Let's have an Undercity strike. So is Sentinel Prime like the guy, like the light guy? I guess we're gonna have to wait, figure that out. All right, look at the jawline on this guy. Holy. Integrated seamlessly. Strike plans crystallize.
Vorith phased back into the void vault with a resonant surge, his shadow veil dissipating in swirling wisps as crimson shadows heralded his return amid the glowing ruins. Raising tattooed hands, he summoned shadow tendrils that coalesced into a shimmering hollow shard, projecting vivid maps of Nexus Spire's Undercity. Kai Thorn's patrols etched in pulsing blue, north blind spots glaring invitingly red, and the void anchor's flickering vulnerabilities laid bare. Lyral knelt eagerly, green eyes sharp. Sentinel Prime's gaps confirm my sightings. Lord, north strikes true. Yet her gaze lingered on his faintly dual-hued aura, probing softly. Darkness remains pure within you. He quelled the golden whisper with iron will, oath chains glowing affirmatively between them. Unassailable, Vorath declared, integrating their intel into flawless sabotage designs. Shadows coiled hungrily around the pair, poised on the brink of assault.
Alrighty. I don't think Lyriel likes that I'd be using light powers and stuff. But sucks to suck, I guess. We're going to take over the world.
Vorith and Lyral materialized from a yawning shadow rift into the heart of Nexus Spire's north blind spot Undercity slums, where collapsed Stormrider wreckage loomed over neon-drenched alleys littered with Magitech scraps and flickering bizarre lanterns that cast erratic glows upon oblivious black market hagglers in the distance. Shadows erupted from Vorith's commanding form in a cataclysmic wave of crimson-laced tendrils that lashed outward with unerring precision, binding the startled Vanguard patrol in unbreakable chains before they could fully ignite their light wards. Kai Thorn whirled in shock at the onslaught, his stern blue eyes widening as hastily activated barriers fizzled and sparked uselessly against the onslaught, while Vorith unleashed searing crimson blasts that hurled armored guards into debris-strewn walls with bone-jarring force. Lyril's shadow sorcery wove through the chaos seamlessly, her agile strikes toppling the last defender as hollow alarms blared to life in stuttering crimson pulses across the chamber. Dominant and unchallenged, the pair advanced toward the pulsing void anchor, poised on the exquisite brink of sabotage amid the rising clamor.
Okay. Looks like a fairly successful attack. Suppress urges and spare the patrol. Nah, we're gonna capture someone for some interrogation. Here we go. Intel hollow shards self-destruct after 3 uses to prevent tracing. Interesting. Provide minor luck. Here we go. Oh, there's 2 Lyrials now. This is obviously an AI image generator, so it's kind of funny. Sometimes it'll get like little quirks and stuff like that, like putting the same character in twice, or you know, just crazy things.
Shadows surged anew through the neon-veiled chaos of the Undercity breach as Vorith unleashed a devastating crimson blast that staggered Kai Thorn against a shattered crystal pillar, the scout's rugged frame tensing in fierce defiance while his locket wards sparked futilely against encroaching darkness. With masterful precision, Vorith wove unbreakable shadow chains from the ether that coiled around Kai's athletic limbs, binding him inexorably as Lyriel darted forward to reinforce with phasing tendrils that sapped his struggles. Halal arms wailed shrilly overhead, distant Vanguard reinforcements echoing through the slums as the duo dragged their captive into jagged concealment mere paces from the throbbing void anchor. Triumph gleamed in their eyes amid escalating tension, dominance secured on the precipice of greater havoc.
Amazing. Let's see. Oh my gosh. That's crazy. Extracting all the secrets directly from his brain.
In the jagged concealment of a neon-flickered alcove, hugging the void anchor's pulsating blue glow within Nexus Spire's undercity slums, Vorith loomed over the chained Kai Thorn, his red eyes blazing as shadow probes slithered into the scout's mind like insidious serpents, unleashing torrents of pilfered visions that flashed vividly before them all. Images assaulted the air. Sentinel Prime's private doubts on Magitech fragility, the Eclipse asset revealed as a rogue Vanguard patrol wielding forbidden lunar amplifiers, and Arcane Surge Corporation's covert sabotage of leyline stabilizers to profit from chaos. Kai gritted his teeth in honorable fury, his locket flaring weakly against the onslaught. "You'll gain nothing," he snarled, but agony wrenched the truths free under relentless pressure. Vorith smirked triumphantly, diverting tendrils to etch a crimson rift across the anchor that dimmed its azure radiance perilously. Lyral stood, zealous sentinel at the threshold, shadows coiling as alarms crescendoed with approaching threats, escape teetering on the brink.
Wow. So now what to do with Kai Thorn? I could execute him. I don't really feel like doing that. I like the guy. I could attempt to recruit him, 70% chance of success. Release him as a warning, or drain his essence for a ritual, I'm sure, to enhance my dark powers or whatever. I'm going to try to recruit him, and it works! I kind of want to see something fail, at least in this story. It looks like it's just big old power fantasy so far. I'm just win after win after win after win. But I'm playing the villain. I can't win. You know what I mean? Like, perhaps I'm becoming the Dark Lord I was always meant to be. Shadows of Allegiance. Wow, this looks intense. These guys are sweating.
Vorith intensified the shadow probes delving into Kai Thorn's tormented mind within the throbbing alcove, conjuring harrowing visions of Arcane Surge Corporation's betrayals that claimed the scout's lost partner in a Magitech implosion, interwoven with Vorith's compelling promise of balanced power to shatter the corrupt order and forge true justice through vengeful dominion. Join me, warrior, Vorith, purged voice resonant with charismatic thunder. Sentinel's blindness doomed you. Claim revenge at my side. Kai convulsed as his locket flared defiant gold, honorable resolve, cracking under the onslaught until he rasped through gritted teeth. Conditional loyalty. For justice alone. Vorith partially unbound his hands in triumphant accord while Lyriel glared with jealous fire from her guard post. All arms peaked in deafening cacophony. Reinforcements, echoes closing fast. The fragile alliance forged amid urgent escape's inexorable pull.
I gotta escape. I gotta get out of here.
Vorith led the nascent trio through the neon-shrouded pandemonium of Nexus Spire's undercity as blaring alarms shattered the night, shadows billowing like a protective tempest to cloak their phased retreat amid exploding Magitech drones that rained sparks across debris-choked alleys. Kai Thorn, embracing his conditional allegiance, channeled internal sabotage through flickering wards that disrupted Vanguard pursuit arrays with opportunistic precision, his locket's glow, now aiding the gloom. Lyral unleashed rearguard shadow lashes that ensnared closing patrols, her zealous strikes synergizing flawlessly with Kai's disruptions, while Vorith carved an inexorable path forward. Suddenly, Sentinel Prime descended dynamically from a hovering platform, his light blasts erupting in radiant arcs that scorched the air and forced the group into evasive spirals through collapsing bazaar stalls, narrowly avoiding annihilation without direct confrontation. United in perilous synergy, they surged toward a vault-bound rift pulsing on the horizon.
Amazing. All right, let's infiltrate the Vanguard with Kai and see if that goes well. Success again. I'm almost getting tired of winning. It's interesting. So turns like this, or like games like this, can often go on for hundreds of turns. It's interesting. I've put a lot of effort into making sure there's this thing called context rot, where once an AI has too much in its context, it either forgets things or the ways that it's trying to do things becomes weird. Like the writer sometimes will get in this state where it's trying too hard to be concise and fit word counts and stuff, because you can set how long you want the stories. So it'll try too hard to fit within word counts. Um, and it'll start like shortening sentences, omitting words, not using full prose, those sorts of things, which is obviously not good. You don't want it to be like um, man walked downtown, like 3 word like sentences. Also, it got everything it got everything mixed up in this image. Jeez, that's kind of funny. There's Kai Thorne in the middle. There's there's a combination of me and Lyriel here, and then there's also Lyriel with ginger hair. So this is still AI. Obviously, it can make mistakes, and when it's trying to copy multiple different characters, it's not always going to do the most impeccable job. So it's kind of funny, but hopefully this doesn't break immersion too much if you're playing this game. It's just I did my best to prevent things like this, but like this, it's honestly it's kind of funny when it happens. So, all right, let's see how we infiltrated this place.
Vorith convened the Alliance within the Void Vault's resonant gloom, holographic projections of Nexus Spire's layouts shimmering from shadow-woven shards as Kai Thorne distributed pilfered Vanguard badges and adaptive armor cloaks that masked their auras in deceptive heroic radiance. These grant low-wing access. Follow my lead, Kai instructed with newfound resolve, his scarred tattoo faintly pulsing. Hero stench lingers on you both. Trust erodes in light's deceit, she grumbled, shadows coiling colder around her form. Vorith quelled the discord with commanding poise, his dual auras balancing crimson dominance and subtle gold. Unity strikes deepest. They phase seamlessly into Spire's service tunnels, badges fooling lax guards amid the post-escape cooldowns. Lull of vigilance, emerging undetected into the inner halls thrumming with anticipatory peril.
That's funny. Alrighty. Let's see what's in here.
Vorath, Lyriel, and Kai Thorne melted into the shadowed alcoves of the Hero Vanguard barracks deep within Nexus Spire, their disguises blending seamlessly with the gleaming armor racks and walls plastered with radiant posters depicting triumphant champions, while humming light wards cast ethereal blue pulses across viciously close without suspicion. From a concealed vantage, they eavesdropped on Sentinel Prime's commanding hollow projection, flickering before assembled scouts. His piercing blue eyes stern as he assigned the elite Lunara Eclipse Squad to reinforce the North Undercity patrols amid voiced doubts on Magitech reliability and detailed countermeasures against escalating shadow surges that threatened the fragile leyline balance. Kai guided them confidently through the labyrinthine corridors with insider poise, Lyriel weaving supplemental shadow cloaks to muffle stray echoes, and Vorith extending his shadow sense to absorb every whispered tactic and vulnerability like nectar from the unfolding intrigue. Navigating undetected past humming wards and oblivious heroes, they harvested the priceless intel, hearts pounding with the inexorable urge to press deeper into the Spire's fortified heart.
Amazing. Now let's see. I don't want to keep winning, so I'm gonna do this really low success chance, and I can't stop winning. What can I say? I can't stop winning. The darkness is going to rise. It's going to defeat the light or whatever. Um, or Lyriel's gonna get really upset because it's gonna be light or something. It's kind of bonkers. Seems like she's not super happy about us teaming up with the light side a little bit, but right. Okay. Antechamber of Shadows.
Kai Thorne guided Vorith and Lyriel with hushed precision through the opulent command wing of Nexus Spire's Vanguard heart, where colossal radiant shields lined marble-veined hull, adorned with dynamic hollow tactics, projecting swirling leyline battles, and elite patrols strode purposefully beneath ceaseless light pulses from overhead wards. In a shadowed recess perilously close to Sentinel Prime's chamber door, Kai deftly disabled a subtle ward node with insider finesse, allowing Lyriel's extreme shadow cloaks to enshroud them utterly, while Vorith's senses probed ahead into the chamber's veiled rhythms. Lyriel muttered distrustfully under her breath, green eyes flashing at Kai's proximity. The trio pressed ears toward the humming portal, suspense coiling like living darkness amid oblivious hero traffic, poised on the exquisite brink of revelation.
Echoes of the Prime. Who's this? Who's this? This looks like a transformer here.
Vorith pressed shadow senses through a faint door crack and leaking hollow resonance into Sentinel Prime's private council chamber, where the leader's voice thundered with grave suspicions of the ancient warlock's soul-splintered reincarnation, haunted by Lindor's heroic splinter. His chiseled features contorted in dramatic gestures as golden light flares erupted around the obsidian strategy table. Vorith stirs anew, Deploy Lunara Eclipse North with Dawnlight artifacts to counter his surges. Her sealed blood legacy serves as the perfect key against his fractured essence. Sentinel decreed, confirming Arcane Surge Corporation's full betrayal in sabotaging seals for profit. The striking Lunara, her waist-length silver-white hair streaked black and violet, eyes luminous, knotted with conflicted grace, lunar tattoos glowing subtly on porcelain skin. Guards patrolled obliviously past as Lyriel and Kai held tense vigil, but Voreth reeled from intel overload in silent shock, the urge to plunge deeper igniting fiercely.
Okay. Let's see what happens with Lunara Eclipse. Success! I can't stop winning! It's impossible. I've never lost once. Let's see how this goes. Masterful approach. Thank you, game. I don't know what to say.
Voreth lingered in the command wing's shadowed alcoves after the council dissolved, signaling Kai Thorn with a subtle gesture to divert patrolling elites through feigned alerts, while Lyriel seethed silently from her cloaked perch, colder shadows flickering around her form in jealous disdain. Lunara Eclipse strode forth alone from the chamber, with ethereal grace, her waist-length silver-white hair, streaked black flowing like midnight silk and porcelain skin, aglow beneath luminous violet eyes that shifted hues in the wardlit halls. Emerging from an alcove in flawless fellow scout guise, Voreth approached with veiled familiarity etched upon his disguised features. Scout Eclipse, a word on North surges. Echoes demand haste, he murmured, compellingly. Intrigued, she paused, eyes flickering curiously, and followed him aside into a warded side corridor, humming with isolated light-shadow tension, their face-to-face encounter poised in electric anticipation. In the secluded warded corridor's hushed isolation, where light wards hummed softly against encroaching shadows, Voreth faced Lunara Eclipse intimately, his disguised voice laced with veiled intrigue. Your surges feel profoundly familiar, Scout, like echoes from a splintered past that defies control. Lunara's luminous violet eyes locked onto his, shifting hues as profound recognition stirred within her hybrid aura, resonating unknowingly with his crimson essence in subtle violet-red flashes that warned the air between them. Sentinel's path blinds him to truths, she confided in empathetic whispers, her silver-white hair framing porcelain features etched with turmoil. My powers rage uncontrolled, tied to some dark heritage. Dawnlight artifacts deploy north against a reawakened ancient, yet doubts consume me. From distant vantage, Lyriel and Kai watched tensely, but the deepening connection teetered on the brink of momentous decisions.
Well, it seems like she's someone that I should probably try to get her to defect, you know? Let's reveal some truth here. Success! I can't stop winning! It is actually kind of bonkers here. Familial resonances cause temporary aura tattoos to mirror the bloodkin. She needs to take a whole pace step back, please. Way too close. Voreth let his scout. Oh, why am I reading this? You guys don't want to hear me read? I read at like a 4th grade level now.
Voreth let his scout disguise fracture partially in the warded corridor's intimate confines, revealing piercing red eyes in full crimson blaze and arcane tattoos flaring across pale skin as he whispered urgently to Lunara Eclipse. We are ancient kin, bound by splintered shadows. My soul wars with heroic light, mirroring your hybrid turmoil. Lunara gasped sharply, her violet eyes blazing in synchronized violet-red fury, while lunar tattoos on her porcelain neck mirrored his own in glowing resonance. Profound kinship igniting uncontrolled surges that clashed and harmonized in spectacular auras. The blood rites of sealing, they fractured us both, she confided intensely, reeling with deeper secrets of suppressed rituals and Sentinel's deceptions. From shadows afar, Lyriel eavesdropped with mounting rage in her green eyes, the bond's deepening tease peaking in exquisite tension.
Oh, this looks... Lyriel's mad!
Lunara Eclipse embraced the partial truth with fervent intrigue. In the warded corridor's charged hush, her violet eyes alight as hybrid powers resonated stronger in violet-red tempests. confiding forbidden dark lunar experiments that amplified shadows into shields and precise dawnlight sabotage, coordinates primed for North Undercity disruption. You veiled kin against a blinding light, she offered breathlessly, silver white hair whipping in aura winds. Vora absorbed the revelations with commanding poise, but Lyriel erupted from cloaks and subtle confrontation. Light tainted lies erode our empire, she hissed jealously. Kai mediated urgently amid straining group cohesion as distant patrols stirred with echoing footsteps. Fractured alliances teetered on the escape and decision brink. Lyriel's furious glare piercing the storm.
Wait, full father. Are we having a I am your father moment? It's actually bonkers. Failure. First failure. We can't stop failing. Wait, but am I Lunara Eclipse's father then? Like some Lord of Darkness kind of thing? That's actually kind of bonkers. But this fails apparently. I'm actually very excited to see how it'll fail. Is she just not going to believe me? Lyriel's going to get really upset or something like that? Lash out? I wouldn't blame her at this point. She's been getting pretty upset for quite a number of turns at this point, so. Shatters the fragile bond. Lunara recoils in horror. Lunar powers flaring defensively as blood truths overwhelm her loyalties. Lyriel's betrayal ignites in shadowed fury. Oh, she is gonna crash out. Alliances fractured amid blaring alarms. Survive the storm. Okay, well let's see how this goes.
Vora seized the corridor's tempestuous climax to proclaim the full truth, his voice thundering with ancient authority as surging violet-red auras threatened to shatter the wards. Daughter, I am Vorith. Your father lineage, forged in shadow and light, binds us eternally. Lunara Eclipse recoiled in horrified denial, violet eyes widening in wild terror while her lunar powers erupted defensively in blinding crescents that shielded and rejected him, savagely synchronized tattoos burning in reverse agony across porcelain skin and silver white hair. Her scream rent the air, fracturing loyalties and visceral horror as panic waves rippled through Vanguard halls, wards screaming in shrill alarm. Kai and Lyriel rushed incoming amid the defensive flare's explosive chaos, the revelation's cataclysm poised to consume all.
Oh boy.
Lyriel seized the catastrophic failure in the erupting corridor with fanatical fury, branding Vorith a light heretic as she unleashed a furious shadow assault of writhing chains and summoned remnant specters that howled with ethereal malice toward their master. The Empire demands purity, untainted, she shrieked, green eyes ablaze with betrayal. Kai Thorn countered conflicted wards in desperate shield bursts from his locket, shielding Vorith amid Vanguard alarms, blaring deafeningly while Lunara Eclipse fled in panicking horror, her lunar form streaking away. As halls flooded with charging heroes wielding dawnlight artifacts that ignited neon explosions across crystal spires, Vorith defended with strained dual powers, crimson blasts clashing against the frenzy. The fractured group fought savagely for survival in the chaos, desperately pushing toward evasion's fragile horizon.
Wow. Thanks a lot, Lyriel. I honestly, it's probably her fault.
Vanguard forces swarmed the neon-veined corridors of Nexus Spire's fortified heart under Sentinel Prime's dynamic distant command. His authoritative roars, echoing as dawnlight artifacts, unleashed purifying beams that scorched Vorath and Kai Thorn's desperate shadow veils in crackling cascades of light and darkness amid maximum alarms and structural shudders. Heroes surged with radiant shields and leyline lances, forcing the duo into strained phase fights through collapsing alcoves and exploding hollow consoles. Lyriel slipped away cackling into remnant shadows with treacherous glee while Lunara had already vanished in turmoil. Vorith channeled flickering dual powers alongside Kai's conflicted wards, carving a harrowing path toward partial rift escape into the outer halls, survival teetering on the razor brink.
Wow. Amazing. So no more Lyriel. Is she gonna... It's not like she's gonna team up with, like, the light people, though. Like, what's she gonna do? But we're in a bit of a tricky situation here. So I think that's going to be all for part one. Perhaps part two coming later, but an interesting story so far. I wanted to show you guys before we end off, and leave the video now if you don't want spoilers on this story. I'm going to actually be spoiling it for myself because I wanted to show you guys what's behind the curtains here. So this wasn't a director's turn, but if we go back here, then you can see there's a whole bunch of these are called director's notes and writer instructions here. So it has things like, oh, here's what the player's choice was, here's the alignment. It keeps track of different like statistics. So apparently Kai has a loyalty of 7%, 70% at this point. Um, Detour, it wants me to take a 10 to 15 turn recovery arc. Um, I might want to hunt Lyriel. It has all of these plans. It has all these statistics and stuff that it keeps track of behind the scenes, which is quite interesting. Um, Even on the characters, it has these secrets. So soul splintered with Elendor, the hero spirit, enabling true redemption path. So if I want to take a redemption path, which seems like Lyriel wouldn't be too happy with, but it seems like that might be where to go. Or ultimate weakness to pure dawnlight artifacts during power peaks, whatever that means. It's gonna come out eventually. But every character has this like description. They have an appearance description, of course, as well that I don't show here. But apparently, Lunara is my biological daughter, unaware until potential reveal. Not potential anymore. We did reveal it, but every time that you are generating these stories, there's just a bunch of stuff going on behind the scenes to make sure that the world feels really like it has a lot of depth and a lot of secrets, a lot of statistics, and a lot of conviction when it says that it is going to do something, or when you lose or when you win. There is those choices. They affect the story, and yeah, it's really interesting stuff here. Like, and there's a full info page. So everything from here, it has like the initial setup. So this is the world narrative. Here's the request. When you press the anything button on the home screen, it comes up with 20 different requests, and then it picks one. And so this is one of the ones that it picked for me. This is the world narrative and things that you saw right at the beginning. It even has pacing. So I guess we're in mid game right now because we're in chapter 25. But yeah, it's just got a bunch of interesting stuff, and it's got all these characters. And you can even ask the game maker questions. So, like, who is Vorath? And what it's going to do is, this is now just an AI. You're talking directly to the director. I need to change this. It's not game maker anymore. I used to call it that, but very Hunger Games-esque. But Vorath is your protagonist, the ancient warlock who just shattered free from a millennia of imprisonment in the Void Vault. He's the towering silver-haired powerhouse with glowing red eyes and arcane tattoos, starting off weakened but rapidly reclaiming his mastery over shadows and dark sorcery. As the player, you control him, deciding if he'll forge a ruthless shadow empire or flip the script towards heroism, or something deliciously in between. And just that sort of thing. It's been interesting, which is his internal soul conflict as that epic moral tension, dark urges versus a flickering heroic light, which has been driving some wild branching paths so far. So it's just got so much. I've been doing my best when I make this game to make it like a deep game kind of thing. So I don't know. Let me know what you guys think. Try it out for yourself. Labyrinth.matchu.ca. Just go ahead and try it out. And let me know what you guys think. I think it's a really cool game. But yeah, see ya.